Hello, can everyone hear me? What's up, chat? What's up, speak? Can you all hear me? Testing, testing, one, two, three. Can you hear me? I'm hoping that you can hear me. Let's see. All right, sweet. Shout out to chat. Shout out to speak for joining us here. I wanted to do a quick stream. Nothing too serious, nothing too in depth, but just wanted to see how everyone is doing. It's been a new year, and of course, is Big Dad alive? Shout out to Gia, the homies out in the Boyd land that have been keeping up with some of the content that's been going around. Um, yeah, it's just been a crazy, crazy year last year at the end. A lot of things happened in my personal life, so I kind of took a step back from doing a little bit of these pop up streams. But I have been around in other chats, other lives. So yeah, I've just been, kind of living life, doing things that I need to do, staying afloat. Obviously, been very active in discords and all the other shenanigans that I see other people around in. So it's been fun. It's been fun, and I definitely wanted to take a break for a bit and just kind of rethink how I want to do this channel. Initially, when I started this channel, there was about drama and all this other crazy stuff that I see that I'm also a part of the different communities and whatnot. But over the last few months, it does take a toll because you sort of start to think a little bit more about how fucked up these people are that you cover sometimes, and having some other people a part of the community really starting to get involved in your daily life. So, I want to take the time to appreciate the 91 subscribers that I do have in the community that I just haven't been very active. And I do apologize for that uh, because, along with trying to keep up with streaming and, everything else, there's just a lot that kind of takes out of you, especially with my hours at work, stuff like that. So I wanted to take the time to appreciate those who kind of tune in every now and then, keep up with the drama stuff, and you know, share a little bit of their opinions and stuff of what's going on. So we have some people in here. Shout out to you, Stanley. I've been watching. When I took a break, I did watch some of Stanley's streams. Always keeping up what Stanley's doing. If you haven't followed Stanley Cross, please follow the Stanley Cross channel. A lot of good intellectual conversations. Also, some good letdowns to some of the ridiculous chatters that he has on his channel. So it's pretty fun. And then we have Speak here. Shout out to Speak. Gia, Big Dad is live. How exciting. For those of you that have been just tuning in, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, my initial reasoning for this stream is sort of giving you guys a few updates on a few things. So, I would usually stream in the evening, and going forward, I think that um, the weekends would be probably best to start streaming and putting together some ideas that I see during the week, etc., etc. Now, I know we've covered some topics that I also want to dive into, especially around um, gaming and some of the nerd stuff, anime, some of that shit that we kind of like to talk about in the Discord. So if anybody is interested, please join the Discord. Please join uh, the conversation that we have sort of in our Discord chats, because a lot of times people have ideas and then I just completely forget about them. Um, on the channel, we've had people showing their sort of nerd shit, Pokemon cards, comic books, their setup, their gaming setup, you know, sort of stuff like that is really cool to me. So I figured, well, let's continue that trend and showing a little bit of what people are doing that follow the community, stuff like that. Other than the, kind of crazy shit that we were seeing in the drama community or whatever the fuck you might call this community that I've been a part of, sort of. Shout out to Garion in the back. Shout out to Garion. Um, Garion used to stream too, but he still has his stuff up there. Check out Garion's channel. But yeah, I've been dabbing into some other content, some other things that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, other than the fucked up stuff that we watch. And you can see what I mean if you look back on the other streams that I've done with other characters and other people that sort of come on the panel. Um, Now there are a few people that I've been seeing coming around here and there, and then people who kind of just dropped off the face of the earth. And I've kind of bit my tongue a little bit and not trying to comment on a lot of that stuff. But I think now is kind of the time to kind of let you all know where I'm at. Um, yeah, you were a locale. Hopefully, I don't end up turning into that. But as fucked up as my life is already, I hope it doesn't go any further from what I already know. So I think that a lot of people who have been streaming and then coming back and then kind of dropping their folks, their followers, their loyal ones from day one, it's kind of fucked up. I didn't really think that a lot of people who were streaming that were serious about it wouldn't be like, you know, yeah, let's build a community. We're down, and then all of a sudden, kind of just disappear. So I mean, that's kind of fucked up. I don't appreciate that. I don't, I don't see it as sort of being committed, 100% to it. And I get it. Life happens, but I mean, come on now. You can't be saying, all your true writers and everybody else who fucking have been through it with you and talked about some things and personal stuff, and then eventually just kind of screw your fans over. And I get that. I get a fucking 6 7 people stream, but that doesn't even matter. I mean, if it's those 6 people that are willing to kind of chill with you, kind of vibe what you're going through, then I mean, those are your six hardcore friends. But I'm not going anywhere. The folks that have been, kind of chilling with me throughout the entire, was it like a year or so last year? I appreciate that. Um, yeah, speak some screw your fans, people who will kind of just drop you out of nowhere and have an excuse that, oh yeah, well, I got life ahead of me, so later, y'all. It's kind of a fucked up way to kind of drop your community and then complain about you're not doing a stream with like 700 people watching you. Shout out to Soul Provider Speaks. Shout out to you. Glad you're here with us. Now, again, 2026, I hope that will bring some new content. Don't know, not sure what yet, but for sure some new stuff that I've been kind of cooking up in the background. Some things that I've been watching. So, 2026 is definitely going to be a new year for the channel. Now, if you all have been watching the past content, there are some people that are still around. I want to shout out. There's King TL. I know he's been streaming. Tommy King the third. Always a good friend of the channel. Um, let's see. We have fucking. Who else do we have out there? Does anybody else remember who else is streaming? We got Jeremy, Radio Foreskin. We have him out there doing some stuff with the black community or whatever. We have CT Chaotic Truth. We have who else we have out there? There's some other people out there that have been streaming ever since I kind of left the sphere. Uh, Does anybody else remember who? Stanley. Oh, shout out to Brandon Jones. Brandon, shout out to Mr. Universal Jones. Um, been also keeping up with his streams, been also keeping up with his content. So if you haven't followed any of these streamers, please do. You know, they're sort of like a solid ground of what I want to talk about and where the content comes from. But nonetheless, wanting to venture off into my own sort of sorry, I'm doing like two things at once. Sort of build my own sort of niche, I guess you could say. Now there's been some other people that have been streaming too. Um the Boyd Outlaws or whatever the hell. Low Cal Rejects. Oh, Monty. Um Monty, good friend of the channel too. She has her own channel now with locale something, but the Monty show has pretty much been popping off. Ruby Spacek has been still streaming. Interesting stuff with her and this guy named Dalmatian Dog. So, and we can always comment. I always wanted to comment on that, but I feel like a lot of the things that I've wanted to say have already been said already. So yeah, Soul Provider Speaks. Welcome to the channel. Um, I do apologize because last year there was a lot of stuff going on streaming wise that I really wanted to cover, but I just never had a chance to. So if you're new here, please check out the previous streams. You can kind of get a feel of what the channel is about and a little bit about the stuff that we covered last year. Now this year we're heading into a new year, so I definitely want to take any um, ideas, criticism, things like that to start off a little bit of a new beginning, if you will. So there was something else that I did want to also let everyone know that. Oh, please join the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, please join the Discord. That's where I kind of keep my safe haven. If anybody wants to chat with me or have any ideas, what they want to talk about, etc., etc. But with that, I hope everyone had a good New Year. Fucking hope that you all had a amazing Christmas with your families. I think the last time that I talked to you all was about mid 2025. So, I hope you all had a good Christmas and hope you got some good gifts, some things that'll help advance if you're a streamer, hope it advances your content, stuff like that. Um, yeah, so I don't really have any, like an agenda or anything for today. You know, I just wanted to kind of pop in, talk a little bit of what I've been doing and then what everyone else has been commenting to me about and talking to me about. And then give you guys just an update where we're going from here on out on this channel. Um, there are times where I want to also talk about some serious topics, some other things too, along those lines of seriousness, not just um, people getting into relationships that they shouldn't supposed to be. They shouldn't be. I should say. My grammar's all messed up, but anyways, if anyone wants to jump on the panel, you're more than welcome to do that. Let me go ahead and drop the link. Um, by the way, does anybody know if fucking Schizo Spud is still streaming? Is he still around? Does anybody in the chat know if Schizo Spud is still streaming? Or if anybody has a way to contact Schizo Spud? I think he deleted his Discord. I hope that people can hear me. Chat, can you hear me? Let's see. All right. So here is. All right, cool. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you, Gia. Let's see. I think that's the link. When I returned and fired up StreamYard, it it took away half of my stuff that I had on here. So a lot of things that I was saving are gone now, and it upgraded pretty intensely since the last time I operated through StreamYard. See. All right, so the link is dropped. If you all are wanting to come up and chat with me a little bit, just kind of what you all are up to, what you all are doing if you're a streamer, maybe some advice, etc. Let me make sure that. Thank you, Gia. Shout out to Gia. Let's see here. All right. So the link is dropped. Hopefully that link works. If it's not a link that gets brings you backstage, then you can try something else. All right. Can you hear me? Speak.
Yo, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good, good.
Bet I was the last person you thought would come up, huh?
No, I mean, it's open. It's open. I didn't think you were. I thought you were busy or something.
No,
No.
no. I was over at Gospel of Bob's. They just talking about football, and then you said you were going live, so I popped on over here.
All right, all right. Yeah, football has been pretty wild. I think it's yesterday's game was pretty boring. The LA Rams or the Rams and the who's playing the Rams and the Panthers.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, but I did catch the end of the Green Bay Chicago game.
That was crazy. That was wild. It was a good game. They were going back and forth, and then
Yeah,
Green Bay. Ah, man, what a way to lose the game! What the fuck? Drop the ball. You have so much time. End up almost throwing it to someone in the Bears. I mean,
well, did
shit.
you see that last pass for the go ahead touchdown by Caleb Williams? I was like, that was piss poor defense on Green Bay's end.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So football has been pretty. Who do you think's going to be the two that are facing the Super Bowl this year?
Man, I can't even call it. To be honest with you, I just don't want to see Philadelphia representing the NFC. Screw Philly.
Oh, you don't want to see Philadelphia?
No.
I don't know. I think Philly might end up being there again.
Well, we'll find out
Depends.
tonight if they can beat the 49ers.
Oh, that's right. And then the Patriots. I think the Patriots will probably be the other team.
Yeah,
In
Patriots are doing good. They were a surprise. I think it'll end up being New England and goddamn Buffalo in the championship in the AFC side. On the NFC side, I don't know. It's kind of wide open.
Seahawks? No. Oh wait, I think the Seahawks are in the.
Yeah, the Seahawks are on the NFC.
Yeah.
I think they got a bye week this week.
Oh, I see. I see. Let's see.
They were the top team in the whole NFC.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I saw that yesterday. Fuck, that's crazy.
How they are, I don't know because like Sam Darnold's so hot and cold.
Yeah. So we got the Bills losing to the Jags right now. And then later, yeah, we got about an hour or so when they face the Eagles and the 49ers, Chargers and the Patriots, and Texans, or that's tomorrow. Texans and Steelers.
Oh wow, the Bills are losing.
Yeah, 3-7.
Oh,
Bills are
I mean
losing.
that's not too bad to overcome.
Yeah, the Bears yesterday were down by like they had like it was like 3-21 in the first two quarters, and then halftime happened. The second half, they ended up coming back.
Yeah, when I looked at it on my phone at the score, it was like 21-6. I'm like, I ain't gonna look at this shit.
Yeah,
And then
it
like
was it
fourth
looked like a
quarter
done
came.
deal.
Yeah, fourth quarter came. It was like 21. Like I don't know. It was like 3 points separated them. And I was like, oh shit, let me tune in.
Yeah, it was a good fourth quarter, and then my brother, he thought that the Packers would end up coming back or actually score when they had that last possession, and then all of a sudden he just dropped it and he caught it back, and then yeah, it was a horrible way to end the game.
I still think the Bears only got an extra week. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, they got a good defense, and I'm not sold on Caleb Williams yet, but I think they just got an extra week. Then they'll be knocked out.
Mm. You don't follow the Texans as much?
Not really. Nah, my team been out.
Who's that?
Commanders.
Oh shit.
Yeah, too many injuries. That's because we picked up all these old ass veterans.
Yeah.
So everybody thought, oh, we're gonna have another badass year because we had that anomaly of a year last year. Went all the
Yeah.
way to the NFC Championship and then got stomped out by the Eagles. And I was like, dude, that was just year one of the rebuild. We got lucky.
The rebuild.
Yep.
But you think next year though?
I gotta see how we draft, man. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, because a lot of times that rebuild takes quite a while, especially with new people coming in. It's kind of like
Yeah,
that
I
when.
don't. Oh no, go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I don't want to see no more old ass vets. We've been running that game since Dan Snyder owned the team. You know, picking up these old vets when they're way past their prime. Like, no, dude. This, if you look at all the teams that are popping now, they may have a few vets here and there, but they're going young, man. We were the oldest team in the league, and look how
Right.
that panned out for us.
Right. So, do you watch? I see that sort of happening too with the NBA. Bunch of There are some old vets, but then a lot of new bloods are coming in.
Yeah, I minus the few people that I know from back in the past, like a lot of these players that are good now, I don't even know because that's how much I don't keep up with the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, you buy like one jersey. Next thing you know, they already transferred to another team. So you just wasted $80 on a jersey for a person you don't even know.
Yeah,
And then
what was that guy that just got traded? He got traded at halftime. The dude from the Hawks.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He was on the Hawks and he got traded to the no, he
I think
wasn't
he
he on
went to the Capitals or something like that, right? I mean, not
yeah,
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 not the Capitals. That's the hockey team, but the Wizards.
yeah.
Trey Young, that's his name. Trey Young.
And then they did CP3 dirty, so but he's still on the roster for the Clippers, but they don't know what to do with him.
I think he should
Where's
have retired a year or two ago, man. Like I don't know what he's holding on for. He wants to get a championship ring, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's already too late, man, because he's already up there with LeBron in seasons. But then, whatever team can work with him or not. I mean, there's just too many cooks in the kitchen because his sort of style of playing might not mold with the newer generation and shit. So Because half the time, I feel like it's more of the players dictating, how they're going to play versus the coaches. Because if you look at the coaches, they're all old timers themselves. Like we got fucking Steve Kerr. Uh, who else is coaching? Chauncey Billups in the background. Shit, there's a few of them that are old
Well,
timers.
you got Kid over in Dallas.
Yeah, Kid. There's some other ones too. And even in their season years, they're kind of like, all right, this is a new style of playing, so y'all do what you want to do. I don't know what it's like in those locker rooms because if you got too many people with egos and people like fucking Steph Curry and then all these other guys too with the young bloods and stuff, so it's sort of like you're trying to manage a whole team, but there's just too many cooks trying to do too much.
Hey, yeah, too many Chiefs and not enough Indians.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
No, but look, the NBA is like out of all the sports leagues, the NBA is the most player friendly. Like, I mean, the players literally make the rules.
Yeah, yeah. One team that I think really had some talent and they ended up just it's a perfect example of that is the Mavs. Because you had
Oh yeah,
yeah, because the Mavs have a good squad. They have a really good team, but I think they just don't have the communication and the healthy I don't know, just not the healthy relationship that they've built. It's just been kind of like, I'm gonna do this. And you got Russell Westbrook, only one doing something. Clay Thompson, he's kind of run up his ears since he's been with the Warriors. So it's like, and all these new people who are wanting to do something, but because they have a good team, if you look at it on paper, it looks good, but when they're out there,
yeah. Is
just
Kyrie still there?
I think so, yeah. Wait, Kyrie? Yeah, I think he's still there.
I think he might be hurt currently. I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow it like I used to.
Yeah, he's still there. God
But they
damn.
had a chance to do something nice, but like, okay, see, now nobody thought that they would get rid of Luca. That was a dumbass move by Nico Collins.
Yep.
But the problem with Luca, and I said this to everybody, we used to argue about this. I'm like, he's a liability on defense. And when he plays ISO, I'm like, bro, you're not a point guard. Let Kyrie set you up. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to get the ball, get a
Yeah.
rebound, dribble up the court, eat up all the shot clock, and then take a dumbass 3-point shot or some fucking low percentage shot. And I'm like, bro, that's not your game. Like, and that would have helped him because everybody would always cry, Luka came into the season fat, looked like he wasn't working out. I'm like, bro, if he would have ran like a two would have and looked for his shot instead of trying to play point, like it would have been much different. That's Kyrie all day. Like if they would have ran the offense through Kyrie instead of Luka, I think the Mavs might have actually done something.
Do you think he's a more of a because he's sort of been hot and cold in one of the
In LA, Nap, you cut out. All right, we got a little technical difficulties. I think Nap, I don't know if he cut out or Napstar. Can you hear me? Well, why Napster gets his shit in order. Gary, why don't you hit the link, sir? Stanley, it ain't funny, bro. What are you laughing about? Stanley, are you doing a show today? Also, I want to know when Stanley's going to let JB come back. Stanley, let me know when you're going to let JB come back.
Speak, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Shit, it cut me out. All right, my bad. But yeah,
No,
I was go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just trying to hold it down while you were fixing your shit.
Shit. All right. No, I was asking what were you saying? No show plan, but really never really know.
Oh, I was asking Stanley if he was going to stream today.
Oh yeah, Stanley. When is your Stanley? If you want to, you can pop up too. Shout out to Garion. Nap with tech issues, yeah. So that's another thing, man. I've been fucking dealing with these tech issues a lot. All of my microphone, my whole setup got wrecked since I moved, so it's been like trying to just work with what I have right now, just a laptop and whatnot.
So you got a janky setup right now?
Yeah, I got a janky setup, just laptop and charger and all that. Just hoping that this speaker and shit stays connected. So, yeah.
You gotta love it. Me with all the equipment and I never stream.
Damn, and you got a fucking gamer card thingy too, man.
Who? Oh, you talking about God damn it, fucking yeah, I know what you're talking about though. The stream card.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the one I was using, I didn't like it because I had to run it through OBS, and so I was like, let me check with my Elgato one. And it's like because it was giving me issues at first. And so I hooked it back up, and it's been working fine. Matter of fact, I'm using it right now.
Nice. Were you planning to start streaming anything?
Yes, I wanted to. Like, I was playing a game called Solstice, and I was going to start doing, like, commentary streaming.
Yeah.
But I would also do lives, but that was going to be, like, the first game that I was going to do streaming, like, with commentary, because if you go to my channel, all of it's, like, no commentary. It's just gameplay. So I was like, I'm going to start with this game. And then the fucking audio was dog shit.
You said Solstice is the game?
Yeah, it's called Solstice.
The 90s? From the 90s?
No, it's a more recent game. I bought it off of Steam, so it's on my PC. It's I don't know, they got these people they're called like some kind of knights, but like they have souls of like departed people as their kind of like their sidekicks. But have you ever seen the anime Claymore?
No.
Okay, so like in that anime, like all the it's all chicks, right? But there are a few men. But these chicks fight demons, right? But over the course of time and them using their powers, the demon, they're half human, half demon, and the demon side will eventually take over them depending on how much of their power that they use fighting other demons. But it kind of reminds me of that game because the main character in there is a chick, of course, and she they're called chimeras. And if correct me if I'm wrong, Soul Provider, correct me if I'm wrong. In Claymore, weren't those chicks called chimeras? Because in this game, the chicks are called chimeras. Well, I mean, they got male ones too, but mainly it's chicks. But basically, she's a corrupted. She's fighting demons, and the demon side is trying to take over. But I was gonna do that at stream first. But you should check out Claymore. It is pretty good.
Soul Provider says, I don't remember. I just remember them being strong as hell.
Yeah, in this game, Soul Provider, the chicks carry these big ass swords, just like in Claymore. Like I said, they're half human, half demon. But the more that they extend their power, the more the demon side tries to take over. So throughout this game, that chick's having issues like controlling her demonic side, but because her sister is her spirit guide, she helps her from letting the demon side take over.
Mm. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. And you said it's a show too, or
Well, no, this is like a different game, but that's what the game has nothing to do with the show, but that's what it reminds me of. I'm like, damn, all this shit sounds familiar. But yeah, it's called Solstice. It's a Steam game. I had been watching it for a while. When it went on sale, I just bought it. Like I bought a couple of games on Steam at the end of the year because at the end of the year, Steam always has like a big ass sale.
Yeah. So I've been go ahead.
No. You go ahead. I was just gonna say once my military buddies that I have in Discord, once they get their shit together, we're gonna try to do like a co-op stream playing a game called Stellaris. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Stellaris.
Yeah, it's like how to explain that? It's like it's a RTS. You know the RTS is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that, but it's like a space opera game. It's pretty damn in depth. But we played it, like me and one of the guys played. Like we started at like 4 in the afternoon one day, and shit, the game ended at like 4 in the morning.
Damn, it takes that long, huh?
I mean, if you play through without breaks and stuff, like we take bathroom breaks and shit, but like because the time passes and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, especially with those strategy games, you gotta like really think and kind of put some shit together.
But it's pretty badass. I mean, it is constantly being updated. Like the developers constantly update the game, and they always add new shit. So every time you play, it's gonna be different. But you basically start off with your spacefaring race, and you got to build up your empire. But there's other NPCs on there building up too, and you have 200 years before the end game comes, and the end game could be several different like scenarios.
Gotcha. Is that like that game Civilization? Have you ever played that?
Oh yeah. But I don't know if in Civilization you have a like end game, like an end game. I think you just supposed to dominate the whole map in Civilizations,
Right.
take over. I mean, you can do that too on this game, but it won't matter because the end game scenario is going to be some OP ass event that you got to have been built up over that 200 years period to be able to handle it and take it down.
Oh, I see. What other RTS games do you usually play that are pretty good?
Let's see. Well, I mean, I was playing the OG RTS. What is it? Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Tactics.
Yeah. Of course.
Then StarCraft.
I think I've heard of StarCraft. Okay.
Yeah, StarCraft is the OG game. Let's see. I played a little Civilizations. Let's see. You've heard what's the one with where you're the military and you're trying to keep the aliens from taking over? The name of the game. Hold on, let me look real quick. While you're looking, go ahead. While I'm looking, go ahead.
So there's a few RTS games that I've been trying to figure out which ones to play first. So the first one was Final Fantasy, but I wasn't sure which ones to start with or just go through all of them like one, just like the entire series and not really go in any particular order. So Final Fantasy's been on my list. It was like last year where I heard about the Civilization game, so that one looked pretty interesting. And then which other ones that I was checking out? There's a few that were more about space, I think.
Oh, XCOM. It's called XCOM.
XCOM. Oh, XCOM. Okay.
Yeah, I played a lot of XCOM.
Oh yeah. So Sole Provider, right now, Elden Ring is one of my top favorite games up there, of course, of the Souls genre too. But you know, those things I'm just like a super geeky head on those Souls like games. Actually, Ghost of Yote, I started that game, so it's pretty good. The story's pretty good so far of what I got that. But open world games are kind of my thing. If you like playing like The Witcher 3, which in fact is gonna have a DLC coming out soon. You know, Elden
What?
Ring.
They're
Yeah,
making a
Witcher.
DLC for that?
Yeah, DLC for it. It's gonna be in May. They're gonna
How
release
old
it.
is that game?
Shit. See, this is about 20. Shit, it came out in 2015.
Damn, that game is 10 years old and getting a DLC, another DLC.
Yeah, they're because they're trying to hype up the next game that's coming out, 4, which I think is
Yeah,
gonna
with
be
Siri.
yeah, it's gonna be fucking unbelievable. That I can't wait for that sort of. Well, they've already released the gameplay, kind of, but it's gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be one of the better games to compete with GTA 6. If people are
You
into
know, I'm
play,
not gonna lie, I never beat it.
oh, The Witcher 3.
Yeah. Because I would just do like stupid shit. Like I would go just ride around and try to take out like monster what they call them, the monster dens and shit.
Yeah, their nest and shit. Yeah, and then the caves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would go like there's one city I remember when I last played it, I was in. This city was fucking humongous, dude. There was so much shit to do in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's like with Red Dead Redemption games like that. Like I would just ride around and just like go as far out as I could and just see what goes on out there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Red Dead is another good game too. Soul Provider says I just beat Liza P. I just play on mods and go crazy. Yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy mods that they made with Elden Ring. I watched some streamers that do mods like randomizer, um, no hits or whatever the fuck they try to do. But from Elden Ring and then to Night Rain and then this DLC they just released. Um, I don't know. I think the last two games from software from the Elden Ring, Night Rain, and then the new one. I don't know. I guess they're okay. It's just my thing is in multiplayer, right? Because those are more multiplayer ishy games. Like you have to fight them in a team and find people online. More about just sort of like single player shenanigans. LCW says Happy New Year, Nap. Good to see you live. Good to see you, LCW. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a good New Year's and holiday season, holiday break. But I haven't finished Liza P. Have you finished Liza P? Speak. Or did you even
You
try?
know those games fucking piss me the
Yeah,
fuck off. I don't have the patience to play those games. I
yeah.
did try it though. I think the last boss I got to was a dude that, well, I beat him and then like I didn't go any further. The dude with the donkey head that you fight, I think he's like maybe the second or third boss. You fight him
Yeah.
on the bridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
I
guy.
probably fought that guy like 20 times and then finally beat him. And I was like, man, fuck this game.
Yeah, Black Myth Wukong was another one. So provider, I don't know if you've played Black Myth Wukong. That's another really good one. If you like open world exploration stuff like that, cool weapons and shit. Now they are making another game too that is based on another samurai type game that is open world, but you can learn. One of the cool things I saw was like uh, you can learn like the drunken fist. You can fight in that sort of martial arts style. So I think that was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Speaking of which, remember when I was telling you about where the winds meet?
Yeah, did you finish that one?
No,
No.
I didn't. I think it's kind of like it just always continues on because it's one of those where they're constantly adding shit.
Oh, is it? Damn, I'll have to dip into that one. I'll have to dive into that one too.
But it's pretty cool because I mean you can use all kind of weapons. Like right now, my he's using a fan as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, you got kind of like fighting stances and shit that you can get. It's pretty neat.
I'll have to check that one out. Because I was telling my uh one of my family members about it, and he was like, "Are you sure? I think that one was made with AI." I'm like, "No, I don't think so. I mean, people have been commenting on it, so I mean, I'm pretty sure it's legit." So I'm trying to get him
Yeah, it's
into
pretty
one.
fun. But I'm more or less like I'm one of those people that like I just want to play something like jump in and then I can jump off real quick. Like I don't really get like invested in games. Like I
Yeah.
don't just have the time to fucking play shit for like 8 hours, 4 hours. I don't have that time anymore. So I like to play something where I can just jump in real quick and jump out.
See, I'm the opposite. I gotta be sitting there for like, I want to be invested. I gotta do something. I got a mission has to take 20 minutes. Like, I gotta just dive in and just get lost in the game. That's why, some of those Souls like games are just like there because it's just like you make your own, do what you will, even if it's grinding for 2 hours, doing the same shit over and over. Um, because like when I first started playing those games, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna chill here and farm. I'll keep stabbing the same
Yeah.
monster, so saying the same shit. I'm gonna try to see how test my limits, I guess. So
Like literally
maybe.
the last game I put a lot of hours into was Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles.
Uh huh.
But that's like one of my favorite games of all time. So I bought that day one.
So you would recommend? See, I've been trying to get into the Final Fantasy stuff. Uh, so was that the one you recommend to start with, or what are some that you can recommend to kind of get your feet wet?
Well, so okay, so here's the thing, right? Final Fantasy Tactics was kind of different from typical Final Fantasy games because it was a RTS. It wasn't like
Oh, I
technically an
see.
RPG.
Oh, I see. I'm looking at it now. Okay.
But it where it was like Final Fantasy games is because it did have job classes.
Oh, I
And
see.
then
I
of
see.
course, you level up your characters.
Oh, that's the game you were showing us on Discord.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I put probably about I don't know, probably about 80 hours into that game. And that wasn't just playthrough. Like you can actually probably play through the whole game in like less than 30 hours, but getting your people all the way up to like level 99 and shit, it takes a little grinding.
Yeah. Yeah. So provider speaks says Wukong was cool. Yeah, I haven't. I've been playing it on and off, waiting on Minutia 903 and Code Vein 2. Have you played any of these three games or any of the series yet? Speak.
Let's
Neo,
see.
is Neo the one where every time you die you get older? Is that the one or is that a different one?
No, that's a different game. I can't think what the hell that name. What's the name of that damn game?
Yeah, there was a game where you're like every time you get killed, he ages a little bit.
Yeah, and when you get real old, you suck.
Yeah. Wukong was good. Yeah, Wukong is always a good one to always lay back on. Um, see, there was also the Red Dead trilogies, open world, especially with the new content that coming out for The Witcher. And then I don't know if you ever played Dragon Age. Dragon Age is pretty good. Um, I mean,
I
of
think I
course,
played the first one.
Dragon Age. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
You know, I used to be like a fan of RPGs, and I still like them, but I just don't have the time to play them, man. To
Which
do
ones?
what you need to do. Oh, just name it, man. Like Breath of Fire 3, Xenogears, Xenosaga, fucking Final Fantasy 7. I tend to think that Final Fantasy 9 is greater than 7, and I think 8 is trash. Some people will
Hmm.
argue with me on that, but hey, like Final Fantasy 9 was when they returned to job classes, which is why I liked it. They kind of went away from that with the previous titles. But yeah, I played a lot of fucking RPGs back in the day.
Yeah, the ones that I've been wanting to try was Boulder's Gate and what's that one that has been winning? It was big time winner game of the year this year.
Oh, you talking about Expedition 33?
Yeah, Expedition 33. I've been wanting to try that game too, so those are on my list to at least play.
I don't know why it won so many awards. I try to watch people play it, and it just did not do it for me.
See, there's elements of it that look really cool, but the whole like story and all that, there's just too much jargon, too much like
Yeah, French bullshit.
yeah, they're like fucking yeah, there's just too much yeah, no, it doesn't really click with me for an American audience. Like for me, I was like, what's going on? Who's what? Yeah, so with that. So provider asks, Snapstar, are you Gen Z, millennial, black, white, Indian? So I'm a multi-racial, uh, depending on where I'm at. But especially with Gen Z, I guess I don't know. What is 94? Is that Gen Z? Gen Z? Is that 94?
I think so.
Yeah, I think nor millennial. Is that millennial?
No, you're right. You might be a millennial.
Is 94? 94. Fucking
By the way, that game you were talking about where you age when you die, it's called Saifu.
Saifu, yeah. All right. He says I'm Nigerian. That's cool. That's what's up. Yeah. Do you know Soul Provider speak? Been
I've seen
friends
them
with him?
around, but I'm not too familiar with them.
Nice. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying to play that game and I kept dying at a few parts and then I just kind of got turned off by the whole thing. I'm not it's a interesting mechanic to put in a gameplay though. The age, you really never think about that. When every time you die, instead of starting over, how about you add the age thing to it? They do that with have you ever played Dark Souls 2? They add like this sort of like health bar where if you die, you get like 50% of your life is like unhollowed, so you only have a 50% of your health throughout the game. If only if you get like this sort of like humanity thing is that when you that's when you get your whole full health back. So it kind of sucks, but I managed to play through that entire thing.
Yeah, like the game ain't already hard enough.
All right. Holy, the optics are high. What's up, Snafu? What's going on? What's going on, man? Um, it's been a while. It's good to see everybody back here. If anybody's new to the channel, please sub. Um, I'm not trying to do no like fucking 100 sub or fucking 500 subscribers or anything like that. More or less, all that good stuff is just more or less for big streamers. I'm just a small timer. So, but I appreciate you all tuning in. Yeah, shout out to Snafu.
So
So
when you
what?
get all your stuff back, are you gonna try to do some gaming streams?
Yeah, that's on my list. Um, and then also I have a few games that I want to cover too. Um, so it all depends. A shout out to NDR. What's going on, man? It's good to see you. See, I watch CT and Stanley sometimes. I'm a struggle streamer too. Yeah, I mean, it just depends. Kind of start out small, but if you have a group of like, a good group of people that are willing to stay consistent with you and tune in, and kind of gives you a little bit of a motivation. Because I don't know, that's the same thing. Motivation too is like, oh, I'll stream this day or I'll stream that day, and then the day comes, I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna wait. It just kind of gets pushed back and back. But then I just remembered from seeing some of the other streams of the people that have kind of pushed their community back. I'm like, no, then I don't want to do that because it does seems like I'll be doing that, especially if there's like at least a decent group of people. Like 91, I think I have subscribers right now, but trying to stay consistent with that. But plus, my setup is all shit, so it's like if I do one, I might fall into technical difficulties or some shit, and that'll just suck. That'll just ruin the whole stream. But yeah, that's one of my goals for this year, at least, to at least get a good decent gaming stream in, at least once every month at least. So I'm trying to figure out for the month of January, doing more like a RPG setup. That's what I was asking you. What are some good games that you would recommend? And then like every month would have like a theme to it. So
So, like, I mean, if you wanted to, I don't know how you are with like playing games with old graphics, but the very first Final Fantasy is on sale right now. Well, not it's not on sale, but it's cheap anyway. It's like 11.99 if you want to go that route.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. You said which one? Final Fantasy, which one?
It's just Final Fantasy. It's the first game.
Oh, okay. Do you remember the little PlayStation they had that they resold, and it had like 10 or 15 games on it already?
Yeah,
And
those
one,
little emulators.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have one of those. I have it back at my old place in the storage. I was gonna jump that on, but there's nothing you can like really stream with it because it just has a little USB and then uh the charger for it. That's it. So I was like, how can I stream this? But then I
Hmm.
think use that USB, plug that into what is
Yeah, you
that?
should be able to just run it into the capture card.
Yeah, the capture card, and then eventually be able to stream there. Because there's Tekken on there, there's Resident Evil, Director's Cut, there's fucking old Rainbow Six, that really old one. I was like, dang, these would be cool to stream too. Just kind of get that good nostalgia back.
Yeah, there's a
Uh
guy I watch. His name is Frugal McGee Gaming,
huh.
and that's what he does. He does a lot of like throwback games. He plays Super Tecmo Bowl all the time on his streams. I don't know if you remember
Super
that.
Super Techno Bowl?
Yeah, Tecmo.
Tecmo.
Yeah, it's like shit. One of the fucking best games ever. That's the one with the unstoppable Bo Jackson.
I have to change Super Techno. Oh, Tecmo
And that,
Bowl.
yeah, it's
Oh,
before your time. I'm sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that came
Oh,
out on the 8-bit Nintendo.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he plays that like a lot. Like he goes through like a full season with different teams and tries to win the Super Bowl. But he does the streams of that.
Yeah.
He does like old school Metroid, the 8-bit version.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. So Stanley says, I was told success is the best revenge. Hence my motivation. Yeah, Stanley, I think, yeah, you're definitely grinding out there trying to hit the watch times and stuff. So
I think
salute.
he's got the watch hours. He just doesn't have the subscribers.
Oh, the subs, yeah. Cause I'd be tuning in. I'll be tuning to Stanley stuff every now and then. But salute to Stanley though. If you haven't followed the Stanley Cross channel, check out some of his content.
I rock with Stanley, but I just can only take the political shit for so long.
See, my thing with Stanley is that the way he treats his guests is pretty funny. Especially if you have the same five, like five controversial ones, and one's always like talking about weird shit. It's hilarious.
Oh,
The way,
Stanley beats the hell out of 12th Man.
because 12 man just sits there and he's gonna say something stupid and just interrupts his whole entire thought, and you're just like, oh, who is this guy? And he's just like drunk all the time, or he says something wonky, but he's hilarious. He's hilarious. He's like a white TK. So I always laugh whenever the same
Yeah.
people are on Stanley's streams.
Stanley, bring back JB. Stop playing. Bring JB back. I know he messed up, but let him come back.
Who's JB?
You never. I don't know who it is, and I'm pretty sure they're just trolling. But they're the one that has they sound like a country old hit.
Oh, was that the guy that was like he was
He was
arguing
going. Remember, he was going off on Universal that one day.
and he was saying some like raunchy shit to him?
Yeah,
Was he saying some stuff, cringy stuff to him?
he's wild. He's a wild dude. But that's why I say, like, Stanley wanted to make like Saturdays the mess around show where people just come up and just talk about anything. And I was like, bro, you gotta have Mike 123 and JB. Those are like staples of the Stanley channel.
Right. Gotta have him.
He used to have Solid Snake on there, but I don't think him and Solid Snake are cool anymore. With his loud ass.
Man, that guy is funny too. He's hilarious. I don't know. They just bring that weird fucking vibe to it sometimes, and it's funny. But,
Yeah, the ones you don't know what the hell's gonna come out their mouth.
Right. Speaking of which, that's why I'm starting to lose a little bit of interest in Tommy's stuff and Hurricanes. So, because the stuff kind of gets sort of dried out after a while. I caught Paro's stream a couple of days ago, and I sort of the same stuff, talking about wieners and how big someone's schlong is, and it just kind of gets played out a little bit, to where it just messes with you in the content.
Yeah, it kills me too. I'm like, dude, how are you mad at these people? Like a lot of the people that he talks about who he's mad at and he's going on rants about. I'm like, I don't even know these people. Like, who the fuck are you talking about?
And then he compares him to like a WWE type thing, where he tries to think he's like a character from wrestling.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Hey, what was funny though? What had me rolling on his stream where he's talking about if a Dalmatian dog had got Ruby pregnant, he was gonna be pissed off.
Right. Oh man, that whole entire thing was just hilarious to me, and how serious. I've never seen a group of people so committed to knowing every bit and piece of a crazy ass relationship more than it was Ruby and Dalmatian. That was hilarious. And then the catch Dalmatian streams, because he usually would stream, go on a huge rant, say some wild shit, delete the stream. So you had to be there to catch what he was saying. But that whole thing was hilarious, especially when she was like saying, "Oh, I might be pregnant," or pregnancy tests, taking it on live or whatever. Just crazy nonsense. But so what? That brings me to another question. Solid Snake was in my chat yesterday. From last year, from what you can remember. Oh wait, NDR says not to mention his quest of finding how big. Oh yeah. Paro does have this thing where it's like his his content depends on the length of your schlong or whatever.
Yeah, that suspect shit just kills me. I'm like, dude, why are you so obsessed with other men's penises?
Yeah. So what from what you remember speak
Oh, we about to get spicy?
hold on, before we get spicy, what are your top moments from last year stream wise? Not just from this channel, but any channel last year.
Damn.
Because you watch a lot of different content. So
I know one was when we went to Gospel Bob when Gospel Bob they got banned for like a week, and so they were starting to do streams on Rumble until they got that ban lifted or whatever. They couldn't, well, they weren't banned, but they got I don't know, some kind of content strike or whatever. So they couldn't stream for like 7 days on YouTube. So they were trying to go over to Rumble. You know, Rumble's a lot less PC than YouTube. And I remember the first night we did a stream over there, that one was pretty wild.
was it a panel or was it just like
Yeah, it was a panel show, but I mean, we were wilding out over there because you can say things on Rumble that you can't say on YouTube.
I can't imagine that wasn't a fest of different words that people have been wanting to say for quite some time.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was wild. That was a pretty funny stream.
Hello,
But
Stanley. Hello, Stanley. How you been?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just chopping it up with Speak here. Top moments.
Yeah, I've been listening. I when y'all started talking about the nature of streaming,
Yeah.
I got interested.
Oh, okay. So, what are your thoughts on sort of the nature of streaming?
Actually, Kimmy Cakes, Brooklyn Watson has convinced me that I need to basically do a second channel, one with more serious content. Because I mean, politics is just my thing, politics and culture.
Right.
And then the Stanley versus the World show will be more more, it'll kind of stay the same, but it'll be more oriented towards the JB sort of stuff.
Mhm.
the
But
effery,
speaking of JB, look, there's just some lines you don't cross in that, oh, I think, so and so is deceased. I've had, in the past few years, a lot of people that were, from my mother to my wife,
Yeah.
be deceased.
Mhm.
And that's just something I don't play with. And I'm not religious or anything like that. But some things you just don't joke about. It just kind of creeped me out. And JB will come back, and I've told him, it's not like you're permanently banned, but when I kind of get comfortable and let you back up, it'll be on my own time. It won't be because somebody demands it.
yeah, yeah. No, I get it because it was jacked up because I was like, is he serious or is he just joking? And then
Yeah,
Mike one
they're
two
just
three
some
ended up
things you
jumping
don't
up.
joke about.
But he supposedly was supposed to come to T stream last night, but T changed her stream time like 16 different times. So I guess by the time she
Like
actually
me.
started, he probably was going to bed or something. But he's like, I got a lot to talk about. I hope T lets me up. I was like, this ought to be interesting, but then he didn't show up.
Yeah, that to be honest, that character is just about played out in my mind.
I just want to know who it is.
You know what? I'm not even remotely interested in who it is. I hope it's Universal Jones.
Universal.
Hey, that would be crazy if it was.
That would genuinely be funny.
So with the splitting of your channels, Does that come with like different time frames or one?
I'm not exactly sure, but it's something that I used to do and really haven't done in damn near a year. I figured, just kind of like the news stuff, it's just news and effery, basically. But
Right,
I really, had an interest in doing video essays on actual like serious stuff. And I'll probably just create a whole new channel, something like Stanley versus question mark, something of that order, because I'm actually interested in things like political philosophy and, some of the more serious topics
right.
that wouldn't be appreciated by the likes of JB or Mike 123. It'll
Right.
be my more pretentious side.
Oh, okay. Some of the stuff that you've been doing, kind of more in depth and more of a tone, I
Well,
guess.
yeah. I mean, I've literally, now that I've figured out how to use my Kindle with StreamYard,
Yeah,
um, it'll, pop up a book and, we'll just go over it paragraph by paragraph, something on that order. Just, probably nobody will be interested in it, but it'll be out there for posterity at least.
right, right. So we got Universal in the chat here. Shout out to
Yeah, he
Universal.
says he's not that talented.
He's not that
Don't sell
talented.
yourself short there, Universal.
You know, I
Yeah.
have a theory on who it is. I think it's CT.
You think?
That would be funny too.
I don't know. It's just something just makes me think it's CT.
Well, he JB insists that he's white, so that could very well be CT. You know?
So the last time I was like checking in with the whole the Stanley sphere, was that is the whole beef between you and Mr. Galt done, or is it just kind of fizzled out?
Well, I don't have a beef with John Galt. He has a beef with me.
Hmm. So that whole stuff kind of fizzled out now.
It flares up every now and again, but I've pretty much gotten to a point to where I think John Galt's a degenerate, literally.
Hmm.
And every now and again somebody will pop in a Discord and go, "Oh, well, John's talking about you." But that's about the only time I really get interested in whatever it is he's doing.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say I think he's a degenerate.
When you use that? What do you mean by degenerate?
Well, I mean, he doesn't do things that a normal 50-year-old would do, you know.
Shit, I
And
mean, all of us are. Yeah.
but I mean, a 50-year-old father, spending all this time drunk and high on YouTube, that
Yeah.
seems like degenerate behavior to me.
Hmm.
When you're abusing people uh, who are, kind of down and out, like on their last legs,
Yeah.
yeah, you're claiming to be, why can't blacks get together and pull together and be like, other communities and pool resources? Well, um, I probably because of people like you. I don't want to pull together with someone like you. So,
Yeah. That could possibly be something keeping you back from trying to definitely try to rise up in the ranks, I guess.
yeah, I'm not. I don't. I think black people are, pretty much like any other community.
Right. Mhm.
As far as the individualism, not, we are a very diverse group politically and culturally, even. And
Mhm.
John Galt just doesn't seem to, he's not that bright, to be honest. He has a lot of talents, but
Mhm.
I've known people who are kind of like business savants. They could do a lot of things well, but they
Right.
still somehow or another don't have depth. Like they aren't, they don't have like the talent of self-reflection. I don't
Right.
think John Gall actually sees himself clearly.
Okay.
And I think he is a savant, but he doesn't have depth of character, for instance.
Okay. What are your thoughts on some of the things that he could be? Well, I had the question.
Oh,
What
I
are
don't care. I honestly, he's 50 years old. It's
yeah.
not my job to, even have thoughts on it. Um, and it's not that I dislike John.
Hmm.
Um, I just think that he he has a lot of mouth about things that he actually doesn't understand. And he and I don't think some of the things that he does is just icky morally to me.
Hmm.
Getting people, getting on a YouTube channel and going, hey, how should I abuse this tenant? Should um it's just like morally dubious.
Right. And it's happening
And
in
I'm it's just icky. And I don't, there's some things he could do to improve. And it's not my job to even think about how he could improve. If he's 50 and can't figure it out, well, that's on him.
right. So speaking from outside of John Galt, but as a community, because I know you've said more than once that you look at things more of a community because we all have the same sort of struggles and whatnot in a sense.
No, it's the opposite actually. I
Okay.
don't I don't I don't I mean there's some commonalities, but
Hmm.
I think that there are black communities, plural. There's
Yeah.
not a coast to coast. Like, I use the example, somebody in a guy named Nidish's chat said that Cali ruined N words. And I kind of and I kind
What
of
does that
agree with
mean?
that. Well, I think that I have a whole group of friends who live like on the West Coast, mostly in the San Diego area, and a lot of them are former gang members.
Right.
And sometimes they will theorize or wax poetic about what it is to be black. That sort of, kind of like an ontological thing. What does it mean to be black? Sometimes I just shake my head and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? If I had to be, kind of just, I don't know, just kind of have a bias, it would be, I think the South is a truer picture of what I would think being black is all about. Very Southern. It's a Southern, kind of origin, you know,
Hmm.
for historical reasons. And I think California, they're just kind of like a different species, a lot of similarities. But when I hear someone like from California, it sounds like they think that blackness in America centers around the LA area or Southern California.
Yeah.
I just kind
Yeah.
of chuckle. I'm like, really?
You know what I
No.
find funny about that, Stanley? Like in California, like you said, a lot of these guys are like ex gang members, and they haven't
Hmm.
like graduated past that. Like, yeah, they might not gang bang anymore, but
Hmm.
they still thrive on the gang politics. And I'm like,
Hmm.
it reminds me of that Nas song, Second Childhood. It's like, dude, grow up, man. You're 50 fucking years old, and you're still talking about, oh, people checking in, or we don't wear this color. That shit is stupid. Like, there's a whole
Right.
world outside of that. Like, some of these people in California, they live 10, 15 minutes from the beach and they haven't even seen the water. That's how like retarded they are.
Or explored more than going outside the country or other things, touring the world or anything. Just like that's just the center that they sort of stay in. It's just it's California and nothing else.
Well,
That's it.
that's why I think that, there is no one coast to coast, black community. How are we going to pull together when, I can't stand avocado toast and, I'm more a grits guy. That
Oh, I
it
see.
sounds silly, but that's kind of what I mean. And that's
Right.
not a bad thing. For whatever reason, I think integration pretty much was kind of like, you're not going to put that genie back in the bottle.
Mhm.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing, but it is an individual thing.
Mhm.
And, I try, other than like calling people old YNs, which is what I call people like John Galt or, even Knightish. I think these guys sometimes I wonder about their maturity level.
Mm.
Not that I'm God's gift to, senior citizenship, but I do kind of shake my head sometimes about what they prioritize. Don't be talking about some preacher's wife's dress when, Trump just did whatever in Venezuela. To
Right.
me, doing a whole show about a dress just seems kind of YN.
For the chat and the viewers who are not familiar with YN, well, how would you describe a
Well,
characteristic?
I'll just say young Negro.
So does this person do they have a certain look or a different certain
Well, it's a category, and
uh-huh.
probably Speak or even Universal would have a better idea because I'm 60. So
Hmm.
I think if you're 50 years old and you are, say, a baby daddy,
Right. Right.
and but you don't live in the same city as either set of kids, but you have time to be, online a lot. I think you're basically a neglectful parent. That's YN behavior.
YN. Oh, okay. That's YN behavior. Interesting. I never
Well,
well,
I grew up Catholic, and it flares up every now and again. I'm kind of a prude that way.
I see. Because like yeah, checking in and seeing that whole thing go on, and I do catch some of John's streams, and some of it just kind of like flies over my head because I just can't really understand a lot of his rhetoric or what his end goal of it, or if anything. Um, so I
Well,
try to.
my recommendation is let it fly over your head. Just, don't get shit on, because it's a lot of poop.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a caricature of black culture. So I mean, if I'm being honest with you, like all the race baiting fucking channels and shit are starting to get on my nerves because it's like literally, it's like how many topics are you gonna do on the same bullshit? How many times you gonna fucking set up a topic? Oh, FBA this, FBA that, or
Right.
my black tenant trashes their apartment. Like, well, if you live in the fucking hood, then what do you expect? You're gonna have a different type of fucking people, you know. This is just any different if I had a whole bunch of mobile homes and I've got some poor white trash motherfuckers that live in it. There's probably going to be a few of them that get tore up in the process. Like, come on, man. I mean, like, can you do any other content? And this is just
Yeah,
not
that
this
he
is not
doesn't
directed at one
figure
person.
that he doesn't figure it's really more just a bunch of people. When you get, you know, um, when you get down and out, sometimes people just do weird things when they're under that kind of stress. And I just don't agree with kicking a man or woman when they're down and then doing a show about it. I thought that thing, with the guy who had diabetes that died on his property, some of the stuff that John, it was just like outside the bounds. And just a quick aside, people will ask, well, why did you stay associated with John, that whole scene for that long? Well, I used to do an overnight show for a reason.
Yeah,
you did your own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And this is how silly the content is, really. Like, if you think about it. So I saw a short that was like, look at how these blacks live, and this one tenant had, I guess, destroyed the room and it was filthy. And I'm like, okay, I worked in rent to own for a while, and I saw across the board people are filthy regardless of color. I mean, this is how stupid this content is. I've seen nasty white folks, seen nasty black folks, I've seen nasty Mexicans, I've seen a little bit of nastiness from all people. Like, you wouldn't believe how nasty humans are, period. So that's why I say that kind of content is just stupid, and it's like repetitive.
Well, Speak, years ago, this was back in like the 2008, 2009, 2010 time frame, somewhere in there. And when my wife and I were looking for houses up in the DC area, like the Fairfax County, that Northern Virginia corridor up I-66. And if you're not familiar, it doesn't really matter. My point is that there were a lot of foreclosed homes. That was back during the financial crisis and all these foreclosures. So it was a great market if you were looking for a house. You could probably pick up a bargain. But what struck me is a lot of these people, and most of them were white, the area we were looking in, that Fairfax County area, people knew that, hey, my house is foreclosed. I got to move out. Dude, people would just on purpose just fucking trash a house. It's like, hey, if I can't have it, I'm just going to trash the place before I move out. And next person who moves in, they'll just deal with it. So talk about nasty and destructive. When people get desperate and frustrated, they just, they do things, things that would make you shake your head and go, what kind of animal would do this? So that's John Galt's properties, at least some of them, are kind of like the Last Chance Hotel. Like the Hotel California.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just gonna. Oh, my bad, Nap. Go ahead.
But I was just gonna say, it's not a Motel 6, but it's not a Sheraton or anything like that either. So it's just
the hotel of last resort.
Yeah. What were we gonna say? Speak, sorry.
Look, so I'm just gonna tell you one of many stories that I have from working in the rent to own industry for as long as I did. So there was this white couple, and I think that they were kind of slow, but basically they were on a fixed income. They got disability checks or whatever. And I had a homegirl that worked with me, and she always worked with this couple. I mean, they paid good until you overloaded them with products, and then you had to pick their shit up. Well, the problem is these people were disgusting. So the first time I encountered them, they had already had an account with the company I was with, had to go pick up a refrigerator. And when I tell you, we went into the house, it was filthy. Had to pick up the refrigerator, like I said, opened it up, roaches everywhere. And I'm like, dude, how do people live like this? So we get that thing, put it on the truck, bomb the hell out of it, clean it up real good and resell it, which is a shitty thing to do in rent to own. That's part of one of the reasons why I'm not in there anymore. But anyway, so I leave that company, go to another one, same homegirl working at that one. And I find out she's let these same people rent again.
Ooh.
Now, this time they have a bedroom set. Of course, they can't afford it, and we have to come pick it up. And when I tell you, we walked to that house, me and another guy, to pick their shit up, dude, I knocked on the door. The smell was coming through the door so damn strong. It made you, and this is probably why my stomach's weak now, smelling all these nasty, filthy homes. But I'm talking about it, the smell. It made me run into the yard and start puking. And thank God they didn't let us in the house. They just pushed all the shit to the front. These people have the nerve to have animals, right? And I'm looking in the house, and the cats are jumping over roaches and shit. And like they pushed the headboard up to the door first. I get it, and I hit like a crevice in the floor, and like it made all these roaches just fall to the ground out of the headboard. And I'm like, oh my God. Long story short, we get that out. We bomb the hell out of the truck. Roaches dead. I mean, if you've never seen a house that's like infested with roaches, basically roaches destroy everything, like especially when they have when it's a nest of them. And so everything, even though we bombed it, the furniture was not serviceable again because these roaches had laid eggs in it, pooped and peed. And like if you have a high concentration of roaches in your house, when people walk in, it's just as bad as like people. The smell is just as bad as like people that have a lot of animals that don't keep them clean, and you can smell it. You can smell it. They can't because they're used to it, but it's that bad. Because I remember my first time encountering that smell, and I asked the guy that was like, "Man, like, dude, what is that smell?" And he's like, "It's roach shit." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, when people have an infestation of roaches, and what they love to do, like when people have infestation of roaches love the refrigerator. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they have a light source and a water source. But what they do is they get like they find paper around the house and they just clump it up and they use that as their nest right under the water drip pan on the refrigerator. And as they make like big shit mounds up behind the refrigerator. And like, so somebody has like a high concentration of roaches or an infestation, you best to believe it's going to stink in that house. But I say this to say that, like, dude, I've seen the nastiest of nasty people working in the industry. And that's just not black people. That's people, period, that are just filthy.
Right.
That's one of many stories. I ain't going to even tell you about the bed bug infestation that just made me finally say, I've had enough of this shit.
Where they're eating people alive.
Yeah, like literally the dude, we picked up a mattress from him. I'm not going to keep this story long. We picked up a mattress from this guy. And, we're hauling it from upstairs to downstairs. And shit, man, I thought I saw, we going down the stairs. It's dark up there. I see something crawl across the mattress. I'm like, what the hell is that? I thought maybe it's just a spider. We get it outside. And, just being in the industry, you learn what to look for with bed bugs and shit. And I pulled the mattress, hits that sunlight. Dude, infestation of bed bugs. I mean, they get in the crevices, and there's a pillow top, of course. And so you got bed bug shit, egg sacs, and just bed bugs just crawling around everywhere. I'm like, dude, how does this guy not notice this? I mean, the mattress has blood stains all over it because they're tearing his ass up at night. See, that's what they do. God. They wait till you go to sleep, and then when you go to sleep, you just generate that heat, and they know that you're not moving, so they just come and they just suck you dry. I'm like, dude, and we have to leave that mattress there.
Right.
He's like, yeah, we can't take this nasty shit. You got to spray yourself down with this acetone, basically like the same shit that you use to move fingernail. Yeah, it's like a concentration like that. It kills them on contact, but like you got to spray yourself down with that shit to make sure you don't bring any of that shit, because bed bugs are one of the hardest things to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
I can tell you some stories about that industry. Like I said, I know from being in that industry, people are disgusting across the board.
Yeah, well, doing YouTube shows about it.
Hey, me and a buddy at one time talked about like we wanted to do like send something to HBO because we wanted to be raw and uncut, and HBO you get that, but just do like a raw and uncut like TV series about rent to own life, like working in that industry. And he's like, you better not use my name. I'm like, I wouldn't use your name. Of course, you'd be like a fake persona, but I would just use some of the experiences that we went through. Him telling me my first day, because I got into the industry young, like shit, probably in my early 20s. And he's like, yeah, man, you gonna do this. You can't be no bitch. He's like, don't let these customers.
It'd be a great buddy movie.
Hey, it was pretty interesting, man. You know, and now it's real watered down. You know, you can't do what you used to could do back in the day. Like we used to, we used to talk crazy to customers on the phone. It was funny. People
Oh
talking about, I'm
wow.
gonna come up here and kill you because we're dealing with people that their credit sucks and they don't pay shit
Yeah.
on time. So these rent to own companies, yeah, they might be screwing them as far as the payments go, but at the end of the day, this is like their last chance to be able to get furniture or whatever the case may be, because we don't check credit. And these
Mhm.
people, they'll pay one payment on some shit and tell you to fuck off real quick.
So rent to own, those were like those fucking what was that one company called? It was
A rent-a-center.
Yeah,
Rent a
rent a
Center.
center.
Yeah. So those things people pull up. I remember getting a few furniture. My mom getting a few furniture things, and we're just like, "What is this place?" And then when they come by and come to collect it, yeah, it wasn't a good
You know,
sign.
places like that used to be a big deal in places like Norfolk, Virginia, where there are a lot of Navy and military people in general.
Yeah, yeah. We had a lot of believe it or not, we had a lot of military customers, a
Yeah.
lot of like oil field workers. They pay
Hmm.
like shit, but when they did pay you, they would drop a lot of money because it'd be like, oh well, they pay like shit because they were never at home. So you'd have to track them down, wait till
Yep.
they're on one of their week vacations or whatever from the field, and then they come drop you like $500,000 at one time just to get their shit caught up, and then you'd be
Hmm.
back at it again after you couldn't get a hold of them for 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Yep, yep. That'll be my mom. She'd be like, "We can't be home during this time because they're gonna come by and try to knock on the door." I'd be like, "Why?"
You, you, you know what I did once? My second deployment. You know, this was back in the like 1992 time frame, somewhere in there. And I just wrote. I think I was going to be gone for like 10 months or something like that. So I just wrote my landlord like 10 checks and predated them. Just sent him 10 checks and said, just make sure you cash them. Don't cash them before the date on the check. And
Hmm.
that's how I handled it. And he was like eternally grateful.
Hmm.
So, dude, if I'm sending you checks from the Middle East, shit, who knows when you'll get them?
Yeah.
And this was before, they had like now they had direct deposit, but you know how you can automatically pay stuff now? This was like early 90s. As far as I know, they didn't have anything like they do today.
Was that like a?
You know how you can have
Oh
stuff
yeah, yeah, yeah.
automatically deducted? They
Uh-huh.
didn't have any of that stuff in the early 90s. Like, this was back like direct deposit was a new thing.
Yeah, you talking
Uh,
about like auto draft?
yeah. You
Yes.
can do it like Zelle. They didn't have anything like Zelle or, anything like that. Shit, it was barely an internet back then.
Yeah, Stanley, I could tell you some stories about rent to home, boy. You got to be a little psycho to work in that industry.
Is that kind of like repossessing cars?
Yeah, same difference, dude. I had guns pulled on me. People pull like
Oof.
look the first place the company that I worked for. I had this boss. He was a hick, but he was cool as shit. And if you don't know what a hick is, basically they're from the
Oh,
country.
I know. I'm from
Yeah,
Georgia.
but this is my first experience actually going to a customer's home to pick up something, what we call a first payment default. Basically, they made their initial payment and didn't pay shit else, picking up living room furniture. And, I'm new to this, so I have no clue what to expect. But anyway, we get to this lady's house and he says, hey, stand back a little bit so you can watch the windows. And I'm like, okay. And so he goes and knocks on the door. And I mean, we must have been there for 20 minutes while he knocked on that door, just repeatedly knocking on the door. And this lady, we knew she was there, but she just didn't want to answer the door. And she got tired of him knocking. She came out with a big ass butcher knife. And it's like, you motherfucking cracker, get the away from my house. knocking on my damn door. I told y'all I was gonna pay y'all. And he's like, ma'am, look, if you were gonna pay, you would have paid. He's like, now we gotta pick it up, And she's like, shut up, white boy. And I'm sitting here laughing because I'm like, wow, this shit's crazy. And he's like, just give us the stuff, ma'am, and we'll go. And she's like, fuck you, white boy, just saying all this crazy shit. It's a older black lady. And he's like, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. He's like, you can give us the stuff, or I can call the police and let them know you got a butcher knife out. And she's like, shut up. And she just starts pushing that shit to the front door. And as he's reaching for it, she starts like trying to stab at him. Ooh. And he's like, look, ma'am, you're going to do this, I'm going to go ahead and call the cops. She's like, still talking that shit. But we finally got it out the house. And that was just like one of many crazy experiences. Like, in all that time working there, I had people say they're going to come up there and kill me. People want to come up here and fight me. Because, like, getting into that industry back in the day, man, you couldn't be no punk because people will tell you anything on the phone and then they don't show up. Or, they talk shit to you on the phone. And, like, the guy who trained me, he basically told me, he said, hey, man, you can't be no bitch. He's like, these people are going to try to run a game on you consistently. And I was like, all right, because I was real nice on the phone talking to people, trying to get on their level, see what's going on. But I remember one time we had this old black lady, supposedly church going, paid us like garbage. And I had to call her one time, and she had this, nice church music playing on her answering machine. And look, I'm listening to this church music, and I'm like, Miss So-and-so, why you got that damn church music playing on your phone? No, you trying to steal from us. We used to leave crazy messages like that. Then it got to, where people start having lawsuits and shit. So it got real. Mm-hmm. You pretty much could just call, leave a message, say, hey, your payments due, blah, blah, blah. That's the point. Like, I mean, there's stories in the rent-to-own industry where literally, like, there was a guy at a rent-a-center. I forgot. It was somewhere in Texas, but he had gotten into it with a customer on the phone and waited till he got off and went to that customer's house and shot and killed him. That's how crazy this shit was. Yeah.
Over a sofa.
Well, just I guess the whole conversation that they had, I guess he pissed that guy off so much that he wanted to go over there and do something.
Oh yeah. They don't want to give up their lazy boy chairs. That's pretty wild.
Dude, I picked people's shit up right before Christmas. They thought they were going to cook a big Christmas dinner and got a damn stove. Hey, Napster, speaking of the devil, what you were asking for.
Oh, here we go. What's up, questions to ponder?
Speaking of roaches.
Questions to ponder. It's good to you're a little bit of a celebrity. I when I was tuning into Stanley's chats, it was always questions to ponder, and they're always bringing the heat in an intellectual sense. And then I don't know what happened. You kind of went off doing your own thing.
You could call it that.
Well, salute to questions. Now, each of us have had our own experiences with Ponder. If you'd like to join us, Ponder, you're more than welcome to.
Well, yes, Ponder, join us because Napstar really wanted to see you. He really was hoping you'd pull up to his stream, so you definitely better pull up.
Yeah,
that would make Napstar happy.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I try my best. Thank you for acknowledging the intellect. Yeah, of course. I mean, there are some things that I joke with you, but I think it's all in good fun as far as conversation's sake. I'm not trying to always be on your case all the time, but I just think you have an interesting interesting mind and what you're doing on other channels. So interested in hearing some of your thoughts on some things.
What does she mean? Who was inquiring? The guy running the stream right now was hoping you'd pull up.
There's that intellect.
Now, Stanley, I did mention earlier, and I don't know if you were here, but I do enjoy watching your streams when you sort of the whole guest debacle and shenanigans that happens. So I think that's pretty funny. Uh, when
You know, you're too young to remember Captain Kangaroo, and there was a character called Bunny Rabbit, and Bunny Rabbit would always trick Captain Kangaroo into pulling some cord or something like that, and all these ping pong balls would fall on Captain Kangaroo. It was like a running gag, and that's how I used to feel with Solid Snake and
12th man.
12th Man. It was just like I was their straight man, and they just come up and do all this wild shit.
Yeah, because those were your two chuckleheads originally. Those were your two knuckleheads
Oh
that
yes,
you
yes.
had to deal with every night. They both
No,
come up here drunk.
Ponder, we have just two. We're just talking.
you you have a full panel.
We just have two other guys here. We're just talking. We're not really bringing in
No,
stories.
she's scared. If I'm on the panel, she's gonna be demure. I'll put it that way.
Oh, come on. Questions to ponder. You're gonna break Nap's heart if you don't pull up. He specifically
It's okay. John Galt's not here to protect her.
be nice to her, Stanley. She's coming up here for NASCAR.
I have no intent on doing this on another panel. I'll dream about what could have been. But I won't do it in real life.
Let's see. What's in here?
I'm sorry if my being here deprives you of her presence.
No, I think it's it's up to her if she wants to join or not. I'm not trying to.
You can still be like eight people on the panel on the free version, right?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That full panel is just her being
Skirt.
what is it? Justice delayed.
Hey, question to ponder. Don't be scared. Come on up here. Make Napstar's day.
I promise I'll be nice. There may be a pleasant one-liner or rejoinder or something like that, but it'll be pretty tame.
Do your thing.
So Stanley, did you have any? Go ahead, speak.
No, I was just gonna say we was gonna get into the spicy stuff right before Stanley pulled up.
Well, let me ask. Oh, Stanley, let me ask you this question: Is there any thought, or have you ever thought about like parasocial, internet? People about being a part of your community, like being dedicated to a group of people to stream.
Dedicated to a specific thing,
Yeah,
or a specific community.
yeah.
Well, I mean, people who like news and politics and kind of cultural stuff.
Okay.
Essentially, I guess you could say at my age, I'm kind of a closet academic. No qualifications whatsoever, kind of pretentious, but oddly enough, a lot of the things that Questions to Ponder would be interested in. I'm a science guy, but I've always been kind of well-rounded. I have a huge interest in history and politics and liberal arts in general. So, that's probably why, I don't have huge numbers. I like fuckery, but it's only kind of certain types, and it's not something I could do every day.
Right.
So, if I'm dedicated to any one type of person, it'd be people who actually have jobs and don't have time to watch my show.
Yeah.
You know, all the, like I never see you, I never see Speak Radio because y'all actually have things to do.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, my audience are gainfully employed and actually have lives.
I mean, a lot of times I listen, but like, like I said, I'm at work, so I don't have the
Right,
ability to like
exactly.
actually just like communicate
Exactly.
with
You
the
don't have
chat.
time to interact.
Hmm.
So, and you'll have to remind me, parasocial, I know I've heard the term and I don't know the exact definition, but it's pretty much people that you know online, like you've never met like in person, right?
Yeah. And then there is you actually fully committing to meeting them online. I mean, not online, in person.
Oh, no. No, I mean, no one lives in my neck of the woods, though, in all honesty, I have thought about it and I'm not against it. But the people, I actually had a phone call today from a friend that I've known, online for a couple years. And it's a she, we keep up with each other every now and again. And
Mhm.
if it was going to be anyone, it would be her, but she's funny. She makes me laugh. And
Right.
oddly enough, she'd be age appropriate. um, so, maybe one of these days, because I live near Atlanta. So, I
Yeah.
mean, every now and again, I know some people in Atlanta, or, every now and again, people kind of swing through for one reason or another. So I'm not against it. It's just, nothing has compelled me to do it.
Gotcha. But
But I'm not above it.
if you left the internet tomorrow and said I'm done with this community, I'm leaving. See y'all later. You wouldn't feel any remorse or anything like you wouldn't feel any type of way, would you?
Um, I probably would because I've kind of gotten used to it.
Hmm.
But it's not something that is essential to my life. Like if I moved back to Savannah, for instance, there was a time in my life when I worked a weekend schedule. So
Uh-huh.
Monday through Thursdays, this was kind of like before the internet was really, something everybody had. I'd be out fishing pretty much dusk to dawn 4 days a week. So my parents, like, they didn't even bother calling because they knew I wouldn't be home. And I'd swing by every now and again with some fish that I caught or something like that. So, I
Hmm.
mean, I have things that I can do outside of the internet.
Yeah.
Used to be that I was, if I was married still, I would probably never have gotten into it in the first place. I have an empty nest.
Right.
So, this kind of fills the time. Like right now, I'm doing stretch and folds for sourdough bread.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, my father wants sourdough bread, so I'm learning how to make it. I've been making bread for years. I've just never messed with it. So, I
Hmm.
mean, I have outside interests.
Okay. So just sort of like other things that you can do to fulfill the time
Oh yeah.
if need be. Yeah. Speak, what were your what was some of the spicy things that you were thinking of?
Well, no, I was just going based on what you were talking about when you first started the stream, talking about how like people will build these communities and then just straight out abandon them and be
Yeah.
like, oh, who cares? Fuck it,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
over some stupid shit like, oh my God, I work now. So I like you had like a little group of close people that you were tight with, and you're like, oh, I work now, so I can't even call somebody and be like, hey, fuck you, how you doing, that type of
Yeah.
deal. Like, you're so damn busy, like everybody else ain't like I said back in the day, like, I don't rock with a lot of people, but when I do, I tend to be like loyal to a fault. And I guess that's where some of it lies. Like when, like even me and you were beefing like for a while there, but
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
like was like, you know what? I think he likes to troll people from time to time, and that's what was pissing me off because I felt like this motherfucker keeps like I think he like just coming at me directly. And I was like, that's why I'm glad you didn't come in the Discord server that day. You're like, you're just gonna yell at me. I was like, no, bring your ass in here. I was gonna go the fuck off, but you didn't. You didn't come in there, so I was like, but yeah, I don't hold grudges, but it is what it is. If somebody, we had our own little like, our little rock band type of thing going on, and then like you see most bands, it comes to an end.
Yeah. And I think that was the more or less the question of it.
That's funny. That's an interesting, interesting analogy.
You know how it is. You know how it is, Stanley.
Yeah.
Every good group ends up deteriorating at the end.
Yeah, and how we all kind of got looped into from these different communities. Not all of them were healthy, I will admit, but the fact that there was just some commonalities between all of us, and then now there's sort of this like resentment towards one another, and I'm just like, where did all this come from? And it just makes it clear that there was clearly a leader, and we all got sort of attached, and it was just like all of a sudden, oh, I'm leaving now, and I'll do this once every other day or whatnot, and so that was my whole point of asking. I don't know how attached to social media than what others are, or how others are too. So.
Well, YouTube for me is like the main. I have an Instagram account, and I had a Facebook account that I've had for years. And the only reason I even got on Facebook was an old Navy buddy of mine I was trying to track down. And then, once I had the account, a cousin here or, someone there would, wind up. But I mean, I never use Facebook. Like my main Facebook activity is this Far Side group. You remember Far Side, the comic?
Yeah, the Sunday comic, great Sunday comic.
Yeah, well, there are a couple user groups, so that's like my main activity. The Far Side, one of the Far Side user groups. I get like a daily cartoon.
Hey, speaking of those great Sunday comics that used to be in the Sunday paper back in the day, I think I'm gonna break down and buy the hardcover, the full complete set of Calvin and Hobbes. It's like
I have it. Yep, I bought it years ago for my son. I've got the complete Far Side also.
Ooh, I used to like that and the Wizard of ID.
Yep.
Yeah.
I felt Calvin and Hobbes was like, I mean, I bought them for my son, and it was just my son actually, believe this or not, his first grade teacher was the first teacher to go, your son actually gets jokes. And he was a good, he wasn't causing trouble or anything like that. He just got jokes. And there was this one like magazine that the teacher used to just give to my son. My son apparently could like riff off of jokes, which is like, for a first grader, he actually understood what the words meant. So, I bought him Calvin and Hobbes and he got the joke. He's my wife had a good sense of humor. I just married into a family and we all just crack jokes.
See, Napstar doesn't know about the good old days back when you actually got like a physical Sunday paper and it had like the comic section in it where it just had like, of course, like the Boondocks that's where the Boondocks originated from. It was a Sunday comic.
Bloom County was one of them.
What was the one with the dog? Marmaduke. Yeah, Marmaduke.
Yep, Marmaduke. Yep.
Yeah, those were the good old days. I remember going to the grocery store, with my dad mainly because he was the one that would buy them for me. But right when you go to the checkout and they had like
Yep.
the impulse buy shit on the lanes, and they'd always have like these little small like comic books, but they would be Archie and Jughead,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I'd
Well,
always have to get
way, way back in the day, I remember like drugstores, back in growing up in Savannah, there was Eckerd's and Elliott's and, all these like actual, there were what we would call drugstores back then that were precursors of CVS and, Rite Aid is an old one, Rexall, all these independently owned like drugstores, corner drugstores. You'd go right in and there'd be like these circular racks that spin around. You'd have like five
full of comics.
full of comic books. And I remember when you could get like a regular old Superman comic, like a DC comic for a quarter. So
Yeah,
yeah, those were the good old days.
they weren't
Now you
cheap
could,
enough.
yeah, now you could probably get those ones for about a couple million, couple mil for those couple
I
of.
wish I'd saved them. One day my mother got really pissed off because I always had my quote nose in a comic book. She threw
Yeah,
them all away. I'd like gone to play basketball or something. And I came back and she literally took them outside and put them in the garbage bin. And you know what she told me? I dare you to go pull them out. I was
wow,
like, oh shit.
Man,
Dude, I was upset, and the thing was, is I knew not to do it because then it would be like my father's territory. My mother,
yeah,
my mother got pissed off and threw them away. And the dare part was like, hey, now you go do it, and then it's gonna be you and your father. And
yeah.
I'm not gonna save you. That was the
hey,
subliminal message she was giving me.
if only you could have convinced your mom, hey, these are going to be worth money one day.
You know what? You didn't know Hurricane Dolores. Nope, there would be no. My parents were fairly predictable. My mother, unfortunately or fortunately, my personality takes more after hers, a little bit volatile. She'd flare up and be done with it. My father's still the most even tempered. He doesn't get mad, but when he does, it's like Katie bar the door. Um, it's like, nope, you done pissed him off. If you piss him off, you done bad. Like you have done evil.
Mhm.
So but they were predictable. You knew there were just some things you just did not do. You tempt didn't tempt the devil. And the problem is they would be right.
Yeah.
So the righteous anger is the worst.
Hey, off topic, Nat. I wanted to just say, I hope if our boy Mr. Suggsverse is out there listening, I hope he's not mad at me right now. I hope he's not mad at me.
Shout out to Distant Lights. Thank you for tuning in. Um, there's a new tech program from Trump's White House. I uploaded the info on Galt's channel if you have not seen it. Oh, speaking of entertainment, so when I went to this comic book store, there was this old guy who was selling a lot of Playboy magazines, and he was an old timer, and he had like Playboys from like the 50s and the 60s. So they were like very had this very like 60ish like the kind of color scheme was like this beige, whitish, and then the woman was like drawn into like a very renaissancey. Um, do you remember or a time where you owned a Playboy magazine, Stanley, or was that just something that wasn't around the house?
I think Stanley stepped away.
Oh, sorry, I stepped away. No, um, the first, and I kid you not, the first Playboy I ever saw, because my father wasn't into him. I'm still not a porn guy. Uh, again, it's the Catholic thing. But
Yeah.
the first Playboy I ever saw, my uncle was still in the Air Force, and my cousin and I, we were at there's a Moody Air Force Base. And this is just after what's her name, Vanessa Williams, had been named Miss America, and then it came out that she had a Playboy spread.
Oh yeah.
So we went to the base exchange. I forget what the Air Force calls the PX, but first thing we did, because back then in the military, they didn't put the Playboys behind glass. They were just out with the other magazines.
Oh, okay.
So that was the first thing we did. My father and my uncle went there for something, and me and my cousin, who was the same age, we made a beeline for the magazine section so we could see Vanessa Williams, her pictures. So I didn't grow up with them, but I have a better story. My first deployment caught the tail end of Desert Storm. And the guy I relieved on station, he said, "Hey, there is a drawer full of Playboy and Penthouse magazines. That is my gift to you." And lo and behold, I really had never been into that sort of stuff. But dude, 6 months in the Persian Gulf, yep, I went through every one of them. And believe it or not, after that first deployment, I've never bought or seen another Playboy. And that's like 1991.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm just not into that sort of stuff. But Playboy did save my summer, that's for sure.
Oh, okay. Because we do got a few.
First deployment.
Yeah, we got a few folks that do follow some of the Playboy and some of the porn characters worldwide. So a few folks know a little bit about that. Speak knows a few, and we're always bouncing ideas and sharing what we see. So that's just another sort of when you were talking.
I'm not the master of that though.
No, there definitely is a master. I can identify him pretty clearly, but
yeah, and he's missing his calling right now because as we know that guy, I don't know if you know him, Devontae Yips or something like that on Instagram.
Yeah,
he's got that corn knowledge, and it's literally gotten him to interview and hang around some of the top corn stars because of that. This guy's missing his calling.
we got a few people that we know in our backyards, in our Discord crew that they have a lot of knowledge on different porn stars, so pretty interesting. So I don't know.
Yeah, my first roommate out of Navy OCS was into movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd look at them every now and again, but I had a girlfriend, so I didn't really need the movies.
Hey, back in the day, I actually used to burn like music and movies. So I had a lot of people that liked those corn movies. Like I used to have the double decker CD burner and Blu-ray burner.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I used to burn movies, bootleg movies. I was a pirate back in them days, back when the early days of like Napstar and Pirate Bay and all that shit, the torrent sites.
Yeah, BitTorrent, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Used to make a lot of money. You go to barbershops and beauty salons, sell movies. I miss those days.
Really?
Yeah. They would buy movies like crazy.
You didn't have them in your trench coat, did you?
I had like a binder. You know those CD binders back in the day?
Yeah,
those
I remember.
Big CD binders. Yeah, I would just burn like a couple of movies. Like, man, just be like, hey, I got this movie. It ain't even out yet. See, there used to be this site. I don't know if any of y'all know it, but it was called Box Den. It's owned by this really rich guy. Don't know it. But on the face of the website, it looked like it was just like a news article thing. But once you shared enough shit, you got access to the real site. And that's where, this is how I found out about music. Like they had like any just new album, dude. Before it came out, it was posted on that website, and I would just download the shit, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, I got this album. Anybody like this shit?" And people would be like, "Yeah, I like this." So I would listen to it too. You know, that's how I just found out about different artists and shit. And then like anytime a movie would drop, like man, I would just have the new movies, and I said go flip that shit.
All right,
I was a Nigerian scammer. Did we lose Napstar again?
He's muted. I'm just looking. Ponder says, Distant Lights, there is a new tech program from Trump's White House. I uploaded the info on Galt's channel if you have not seen it. Those motherfuckers actually pretend that they're... Is Galt still talking about his developer days? John Galt got pissed off at me. One of the first things, you remember that joke I made about, John Galt, you need to stop worshiping white people, that white standards you keep talking about. I raised my son to an Asian standard. This is round about the time Vivek made that comment. And dude, that set John Galt and HB off. I think it was a Saturday. They started mocking me about, and then I intentionally told them, well, the school my son goes to, the majority of the students are Asian. They're slightly more Asian students than there are white students. So that was part of the joke. My son is in a school that is majority Asian because he met an Asian standard at an engineering school. So, that set him off. But the backstory and a lot of people don't understand is John tried that bullshit about, I used to be in the industry and my son is majoring in something like software engineering. So I told John, well, my son is actually going to be an engineer. Whatever you did, he doesn't need your help. In that, I'm like, the motherfucker is going to one of the best engineering schools on earth. Why would I need you? Why would I introduce him to you?
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it really, to be honest, it really wasn't, the software part. It's like, why would I want to expose my son to this shit? So, I'm sure John was perceptive enough to get my meaning, and that was pretty much the beginning of, it was a descent. it was downhill from there, but I was very intentional. So like, why would I expose my son to that kind of fucking degeneracy?
Napstar was talking earlier about like what were some of like your funny moments on YouTube from this past year. And I couldn't really think of any, but like I said, I knew about that when Bob and them had that stream on Rumble. That was a crazy stream. And then I was thinking about it just now. I was like, I remember when Stanley was talking about how he liked Mystical, and you and John were beefing at this time, and you kept going. You were like, yeah, you don't like the N-word on your panel, but you were like, you kept going, the nigga right here. That shit had me dying the way you were saying it.
Yeah, there were a lot of funny moments.
I mean, hell, every time you and damn Mike 123 would get into it, that shit would have me dying. Because look, on the weekend, that's the free time, so that's why I'm like, I want to see some debauchery on Stanley's channel. That seems to be when all the debaucherous people come out. Like,
Did you see yesterday's?
Yeah, I was in and out.
Okay, because yeah, Chado Jackson, that was something that CKJ3 sent me. And Deacon Dave is a big Chado Jackson fan, so we just kind of made a day of it. I actually had a good time. It got, somewhere between serious and somewhere between borderline debaucherous. Um, but yeah, we had a pretty good time. Almost an 8-hour show, which is the longest I've done one in, probably a couple weeks. So yeah, my son's been home, so I really haven't been doing a lot of long shows. But
Yeah.
now that he's gone back, I guess I won't have, a whole lot of I'll have more free time, I'll put it that way.
Nice. So what were some of your on your channel, what were some of the funnier moments that you had, or better moments that you've had? that you can share?
Actually, my funny moments, and they tend to, it sometimes they're just so funny. I have a lot of them because I like one-liners. Like
Right.
my funniest moments are like show titles. My convention is, whoever comes up with a one-liner like in the chat that makes me laugh, there's a good chance it'll wind up being a show title. My show titles generally have nothing to do with the show. they're just they're
Yeah.
just one-liners that I thought were funny, and I'll give credit. Like tomorrow's show, it's a one-liner I came up with describing T's show and describing Mo Love's show. The title of the show, shit, I don't even remember what it was, but it made me laugh when I thought of it. The show is called "A Bunch of Thirsty Negroes Talking Jesus." That that's some of the that's some, that's some of the guys that go up to Mo Love's channel, just a bunch
Oh
of
yeah.
YNs up there pretending to talk about Jesus when they're really trying to, just be
Just winter
thirsty.
heart. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one it may not be that funny, but it made me laugh when I thought of it.
Yeah.
And I was gonna use the actual N word, but I try not to use it. So I might still change it though. Bunch of niggas talking Jesus. Bunch of thirsty niggas talking Jesus.
Hey, Nap, you need to comment in the comment section more often. You might make one of Stanley's titles.
Oh yeah. Everybody pretty much, who hangs out, they know. And I tell you who's really good at it, DiCapriono. That dude actually is funny. He's got the best one-liners.
Who's that?
DiCapriono.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's literally been like a day one. So he kind of knows how to do the one-liners that make me laugh.
Like
But
Stanley's channel is like one of those channels where I think he has just as many haters in there all the time as he does the people that rock with him. It's crazy.
actually, a lot of the haters don't hang out there as much. Even Palomino, I gave him a wrench. I'm like, well, you know what? You're always here. Have a wrench. And he doesn't even hate as much anymore. He still does it occasionally, but
Yeah, he's calmed
the
down a lot.
haters, he has. The haters really have kind of gone to, wherever their natural habitat is. They swing by every now and again, but it's not
Yeah,
as, not as
me and Palomino
bad
used
as
to
it used
go
to
at it
be.
in the chat all the time.
Mhm. Yep. But I still think my funniest moment of the last year was the last night I was on John's channel, where I was live and mocking John. And finally, I just said, you know what? Let's wrap it up here. So I went up to John's panel and started.
Oh yeah, that was pretty hilarious. John
I
kept
was
kicking him in
drunk
the
too.
back, and Stanley
Dude,
would
I
come
had
back
a
up.
couple too many. I'm like, let's just go ahead and put the pedal to the metal. So I ended my show and went over to John's show just to bash him on his own panel. And he got so upset, he just booted me. He didn't boot me off the show, he booted me off the channel. And I knew I was gonna push him, and had been doing it for probably a month or more. Pretty much had been going on since that Asian standard comment.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
So
was
there
a
were a lot
hilarious
of funny
stream.
moments, but that one stands out.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
Let me show you how much I actually disrespect you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. It's like 2 hours over. I didn't want to stream too long.
No, I had a good time.
Yeah, definitely come back. It's just I'm kind of brainstorming through a couple of things and getting some
Okay.
ideas.
Yep, will do.
So, and Speak as always. Thanks for showing up.
Mr.
Tell us
Speak.
in the chat.
See y'all later. See you later, Ponder. Kisses.
Yeah, send Ponder much love and respect there.
I
Yeah,
love
Ponder,
and
you let Napster down. You let Napster down. Like, coming up.
Yeah,
she'll come up once I leave.
Yeah,
See y'all later.
I'm a little heartbroken because I was really looking forward to Ponder coming up, but it's all right. I live. It's not the first time someone has kind of left us out to dry. So, but anyways, Speak. Do you have anything else you want to? Any last words or anything like that?
Nah, good panel, man. I do want to say this. Where are the rest of the boys at, man?
Yeah,
This
I saw
man.
Universal up there, Garion.
Yeah, I thought they were at least one of them would have popped up on the panel, but I guess they're all busy.
Yeah, I got to do a serious stream now, so usually got to do one. I got to catch up to Universal where he's doing his more serious streams now, but nothing too depressing, like talking about maybe yeah.
You don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom.
Maybe we'll do a whole section on the Suggs verse, and that'll be an interesting conversation.
I'll just have to be in the chat for that one.
You don't want to argue with Mr. Suggs?
No, it's not even that. But from what I've read, I couldn't come back and be like, oh yeah, well, this on this story, blah blah blah. Shit.
Yeah. All right, Speak. Well, I'll see you around. If you're
all right, man. Take it easy.
Yeah. Talk to you later. All right, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in again. Just wanted to pop in and say what's up to the still lingering people that still want something out of me. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. Thank you all for staying committed, tuning in, even if it's just 5 people. Y'all the best. But I don't have a schedule yet, but I'm pretty much will be streaming on the weekends, depending on what comes up. But you never know. Maybe I'll stream during the week. Just depends on my time. But I'll talk to you all later. Have a good day. Later.